From the Watergate building in Washington, this is Hotline TV. Now here are Hotline editors Amy Walter and John Mercurio.
Happy Friday, everyone, and welcome to Hotline TV. I'm Maura O'Brien.
And I'm John Mercurio. We at the Hotline love a good scandal. So questions over Rudy Giuliani's security expenses during his Hamptons hanky-panky gave us the perfect opportunity for the Hotline's Scandal Meter's debut. All right, so Maura O'Brien, you cover Rudy Giuliani better than any reporter in this town. Yes. How would you rate Giuliani on our Scandal Meter?
All right, well, John, I think I'm going to go ahead and give this one a Bill Clinton. I think, he's going to take some serious heat over this. It's going to be damaging. It's going to be damaging for a little while. But I think he definitely has the potential to make a recovery here. And the reason I say this, I think Rudy's been, especially over the last, month, few weeks, he's, been taking a lot of heat, Bernard Kerik, things like that, where I feel like with this scandal, it's kind of all coming to a head. Everything that happened in New York that was bad, and it needs to be addressed. Today, I love today in the New York Times they had Bernard Kerik commenting on the NYPD, security expenses. It's like that is not. Who was saying that's never good.
Somebody was saying yesterday that it's too bad that Rudy couldn't just have taken Judy Nathan to Judith Regan's
right, it was Bill
little
Press.
love nest down near.
I know, it would have been a lot cheaper and easier.
Yeah.
But so yeah, I think this is definitely harmful because it calls into question. It definitely brings back into the spotlight the affair, which is always messy with Republican primary voters.
Right.
It brings into question his honesty. It brings into question, the kind of seediness of New York, maybe that it's a different world than Iowa or things like that.
And then it was accepted, right? It was accepted by the New York media and largely by the New York New York constituencies
and
that he was having this affair.
And you see the way a lot of his old mayoral staff has been responding to this. Like, I don't know, this is just the way it was always done. No one has a good explanation for why the Loft agency was billed for his security expenses, and nobody knows, and it just seems like that's just kind of the way things are done there.
Right. I think it calls into, what it raises is it raises the issue of why extramarital affairs matter. It's not about the sex. It really isn't about people having sex outside of their marriage or doing these things, sort of things that some people find inappropriate. It's about the fact that it forces the politician to be to act circuitously, to go behind other people's back, allegedly, and to do things that they aren't supposed to do in order to cover it up. So it's not necessarily the crime, it's the cover-up. And I think what we've seen for the past year is that Giuliani has weathered a lot of the storm in terms of questions about his personal life, his children not supporting his candidacy, his ex-wife, coming out and sniping against him. People, I think, just sort of shrug and accept that. But it's when questions like this come up, and questions
that he's potentially doing something really unethical with taxpayer money or things like that, where
and now we're
it starts to really matter.
And if you read the blogs, we're going to see a lot more stuff about how Judy Nathan. Giuliani used the New York Police Department, whether or not the New York Police Department was basically her personal taxi service or not. Now those are still questions I think are out there. So I think it's still an open book. I think Clinton was a very gifted politician and was able to sort of weather the storm. He never had to face voters again, though. This took place at the end of his second term. Obviously his wife now faces voters. And Gore arguably lost in 2000 because of the Lewinsky scandal. But it remains to be seen whether Giuliani is as good enough of a politician. I frankly thought even before this debate was happening or this scandal broke that he wasn't necessarily on his way to a win in the nomination. So I'm actually I'm going to give him a Reagan. I think that it's really bad, but I think that it protects him. But I don't necessarily think. I think sort of irrespective of this, he still probably wouldn't have won the nomination.
Right, but this isn't what will do him in.
However, it as you were saying, I think reconfirms what some other people already thought and brings up some of the seedy side.
And a lot of this is still. There's so many questions still unanswered about why these funds went where they did. So I think how they answer those questions is going to have a lot to do with how this plays out.
Right, and there's a lot of media interest in this. But that's all we have for you today.
And we'll catch you here next week on Hotline TV.